Well, hey there, folks, and welcome to the BRO Reloading Bench. I am your host, Wade Rush. Yes, we have, Rachel and myself have been getting after it just as hard as we can, trying to get back on top of things. We're so far behind, and if most all of y'all know the history of what's been going on around here for the last couple of years, Miss Joanne was battling cancer for the last couple of years, and bless her heart, she lost that battle back on February 24th at 3:05 p.m. She went home to be with Jesus, and it has been a rough go around here. We miss her so much, and we just trying to get back in a groove, get back into a groove that does not include her, and that's been the hardest thing I've ever tried to do in my life. But you guys were so and are so important to us and to her as well. She helped build this channel into what it is, and she emphatically told me to get back to work right before she left us. So that's what we're doing. This is also a ministry, and so we are treating it as such, and we are going to move on. We're going to be bigger, better, and stronger than we ever were. Y'all stay tuned. Doing my best to replicate this right here. In the next session, what I have in mind is we're going to fire one or two of these down at the range. I hate doing that because the only way to replace them is to make them yourself. That's the only way you can replace them. We lost, see, it was down in Old Town, Florida. That's where the Dixie Slug Company is located. And so, anyway, the most important thing that I have discovered trying to reproduce this, the most important thing is to make sure you have hard alloy and that these 360 cal ball are just as hard as you can make them. It makes a big difference. I had actually loaded up some pure lead rounds to go side by side with these rounds in a future video. I kind of jumped the gun in the last one. If y'all saw my notes where I had put it on there, I had accidentally grabbed one of the rounds that I had put together with just the pure soft lead to make, and it was in a Federal hull, and I've got a Federal made up with the hard stuff. We were going to shoot them side by side and see what kind of difference it made. A subject matter of being how hard the pellets are and what kind of difference it makes in the performance. We're going to tie that in the next, in part 3. We're going to, that's what we're going to be talking about. And I had mislabeled one of them and didn't realize till it was over with. And they were, golly bummed, I forget what those things are, 24 inches apart or whatever they were, as opposed to the other ones being 8 to maybe 10 inches in pattern width with the other shot with the hard cast ball. All right, that is the most important thing. And another thing that I have found out is that the blue dot powder is the only thing that we've got that will work. Little gun. I've heard from Tyler McDavid and talked with Grant Fackler. I've got 8 pounds of little gun to do some research for you guys because it had come available. But I've never loaded with the little gun. But one thing I have found out is that it's almost like loading with steel powder. You know, it takes up a lot of space in the hull whenever you use the little gun and the steel powder. So now we've got to look at other options, like probably before we wouldn't even be able to get a 3-ball in a 3-inch round. It would have to go up to a 3.5, would have to, just to make the dynamics work with the loading components whenever you're loading anything other than blue dot. Blue dot is the golden ticket whenever it comes to loading a 3-ball in a 3-inch round. Let's get it together. You're going to need the TUPRW 123 wide from Precision. And in my notes, from the guys that were in the know at Dixie Slug. This is an important component as well. And folks, I've had this several years, and there's a lot left in here. This goes the mica wide slick. It looks a lot like buffer, but it goes a long, long way. I discovered early on that just a dash, like we probably got about a dozen wads here left in the bag of these TUPRW 123s, and just a pinch of mica wide slick from Ballistic Products here will coat these wads. They'll be ready to go. I use this stuff a lot in the heavier loads. Whenever I'm using a full length wide with a lot of my buckshot and all that. We'll talk more about that later. I'm going to be getting into a lot of good things for you guys here, especially as we encroach in getting in deeper to the fall, whenever we'll having to be putting all this stuff into practice. And it's so hard to find ammunition. I've got a little, about 1.8, 1.9 cc dipper, Lee dipper, and we're going to get, I'm talking, see, just a little teeny pinch, not even a skull pinch, and toss that into the bag right here. I've got some more around here somewhere. With me losing so much stuff, guys, I found my 58 cal that I loaded up in the 3-ball for y'all, and that I wanted to try myself. I'd already had some really good results using some other types of configurations using the 58 cal ball, which is basically a 20 gauge ball. Got a little bit of that mica wide slick. And they're already, you can see that little shiny coat on all these wads. They're coated. They're done. All right, they're ready to go. And it's so simple. It is so simple. I don't have a camera on the Hornady lock and load. Here, boys, we're going to do the 28 grains. My notes from the folks at Dixie was 28 to 29. Some even had it 28 to 30. I have not loaded any with 30 of Blue Dot. I have loaded with the 28 and the 29, and both did outstanding. We may try a 30, but there may not be any need, because there was I think we got 1,038 on the 28 and 1,040 something, 43 or 45 with the 29. That was it. We were hovering around 1,040 foot per second, which is outstanding for a 2.15 ounce load. I'm gonna use the clear. I've got some clear Fiocchi, but clear primed Fiocchi from Ballistic Products. Now, one thing I was going to show y'all that I noticed the other day looking at the Dixie Tri-Ball 2. You guys that are in the know, that have loaded a lot like I have, are going to recognize this. Yeah, these are pull them out side by side here. This, see that dark primer? That is a Rio primer. Look at here. Recognize that? Yeah, that's right. This is Rio. These are new primed Rio hulls that Dixie Slug was using for the Tri-Ball 2. There may not be, I haven't opened all of them that I have here. I know that the first one opened was the Shadite, new primed Shadite hulls. And they said in the notes it had new primed Shadite, new primed Fiocchi, and the Federal hulls all worked well, or they had used all of those hulls in the past. These are Rio. So obviously Rio works as well. I don't have any new Rio to try. Okay. Get the lock and load set up for 28. Put the speed on slow. I'd be trying to set up. It's already a mess enough, as y'all can see. We got the outside of the BRO studio finished. Thank God we got it finished. We put a steel roof instead of a shingle roof on it. Just because we got an outstanding deal. A brother in Christ one of our church brothers works in construction and came across one heck of a deal on some steel roofing, and we were able to get the steel roofing for less than what we'd have had to pay for shingles. And so that was a blessing of God to be able to get that steel roofing to put on that thing. That stuff lasts forever. And so we got it set the speed on slow on the lock and load. Hornady doesn't even make this machine anymore. All right. I'm still using, I had put up some 60 cal hard cast that I had powder coated. I powder coated them blue because I do that to identify that these were 60 cal. I got some 58 cal. The 58 cal I would dye like Gamecock Garnet. That's just what I did to identify them quick, because just looking at them, they look the same whenever you're just looking at them. You couldn't tell, just without putting a mic on them, you wouldn't be able to tell. But these work great, outstanding. Marty, I got a 60 cal mold from Marty. I think I picked up a 59, a 58, and I don't know what all else. I've got them out there. Okay, I'm gonna hold it together, I promise. But I've been so behind with everything else because we were having to give so much intensive care to Miss Joanne that we just, so much stuff got almost 2 years behind in what we were doing. Okay, God, I love and miss her so much. But now, as she said, I need to get back to work. Now, I tell you what else that Dixie did not do. They did not use an over powder card. I like to use an over powder napkin because even the blue dot powder will migrate by the RW123 wide. Okay? 28 of blue dot. Me wondering why things are looking so blame fuzzy. Oh yes. Gotta get my reading glasses put on. Alrighty. And I just, thin napkin, guys, like a 1 inch by 1 inch or just over 1 inch square. Close enough is close enough. As long as it will cover, as long as it will fit around the base, I just center it. I'll center it on the round like this. Almost put it out of my reach. And you can already see that powder's, the static has already got it leaching up the sides. TUPRW 123. Watch it. It'll grab all that. I can already feel it seal. It'll grab all that powder. Mr. Gary Caskey makes some outstanding kits. And these nudgers right here, I just give it a good press, fellas. And we won't have to worry about any powder leaching on this round. It is so simple. So simple. Now, three of the 60 cal ball. Right to the top of the wad. Absolutely perfect. Now, I have used Ballistic Products buffer, the original, and 47 in here with good results. It still seems that the Precision spherical buffer works best in here, and it gets really gets down in here. These little massagers from Amazon, these things are great. Great to vibrate your buffer down in here, and great for scrambling your brain. All right, let's get some Precision spherical buffer here. This stuff gets down in every little nook and cranny. All right, so we got it mounted up here just a little bit, but you want to make sure you get this thing vibrated down in there. Watch that. See there? And we're just covering it. That's got it right there. Now, alrighty, we got a red paper overshot card from Ballistic Products. And I've got the Gype roll crimp tool here on here today. This is the, let's see, which one have I got on there? It is the OTP, 12 gauge OTP. It's kind of it's more for your slugs, is what this is designed for. It's not like your BN2s and BN3s and stuff like that. This one is designed specifically for finishing your slug type rounds. I treat it with a little bit of petroleum jelly. And there it is. That's it. And I've been really excited about the got a 53 cal ball that is showing a lot of promise. Now we've been shooting this this 53 cal ball. I developed it several years ago, and it does well. We don't really use that in the field, but I missed the last 2 years of a hunting season. And all that. I was even able to get back into the dog club and all that this year. And all that. So it's going to be a great fall, fellas. A lot of good stuff coming up. All right. Let's put together one of those 53 cal and show you what it is supposed to look like. And I'm going to use the thick Mylar wrap. If you've only got like the 4 mil and stuff like that, just double it. Stack them and make it an 8 mil. And that will get the job done. Y'all stand by. 53 cal ball, hard cast, water drop, probably 8 to 10% antimony. 53 cal, a powder coated pea green. So what's the difference in getting hit with a 53, 58, or a 60? You know, probably wouldn't be around to describe it. All righty. 26 of a long shot, because this is only 1.5 to 1.55 depending on your alloy. It's going to be right around 1.5 ounces of total lead payload weight. I've got 26 grains here in the Lee dispenser. All right, and we're going to do the same. Oh boy, he can get a wad and lay it up here. We're going to get a napkin, especially with the long shot powder, because it would definitely migrate up by the wad. Can y'all see? All right, good. Now, just that little thick, just that little thin napkin will keep all that powder from migrating anywhere around or coming up by that wad. Now, it's a little bit different. We need a 20 gauge, an 1/8 inch 20 gauge fiber wad. It's what I like to use. I had some laying here. I might be done moved them. We've got a lot of stuff that is between here and the studio. A lot of my loading stuff is already out there waiting to be set up in the building. I got to build my new bench and all that. But we're gonna have some cool setup. Gonna have a really cool setup out there for you guys. I'm gonna like it too, but we're making it film friendly. It's gonna be a filming studio where it's gonna be set up a lot better, where y'all will be able to see a lot better, and I'll be able to teach a lot better out there in that environment. So really looking forward to it. Now, here we go. I take the 1/2 inch. I got a bunch of old new stock Alcan, and 1/2 inch fiber wad for 20 gauge. I've got a bunch of that stuff, and I cut them half in two and make 2 1/4 inch. Then you can cut the 1/4 inch half in two, make you a couple of 1/8 inch. This fiber, this paper, is really soft, so I'm gonna leave it what it is. I'm gonna leave it at a 1/4 inch, because whenever I press it down in here with that tamper, whenever I press it down in here and give it a good push, it's going to probably mash it down to about 1/8 of an inch. We need that little bit of space, because those 53 cal ball don't take up the space in here like those 60 cal do, or the 58. Now, what I got here is this is the Ballistic Products thick Mylar wrap. I had a bunch of this stuff laying around in here that I had gotten a while back. I do not see it on their site now. Like I said, if you get the BP Mylar that is 4 mil, most of it is. This is 10 mil right here. If you get the 4 mil, just stack two together. You're going to find out, to make this right, we're going to have to trim it. I like being able to use one piece. This is what I had been putting in here with the 53 cal for the last several years. Alrighty. That's some thick stuff. And I'm going to take my snips. I already know that I need to trim about 1/8 to a quarter, between 1/8 and 1/4 inch off of it. That looks to be about 1 inch, maybe 1 1/8 inch, 1 1/4 for 12 gauge. Now, this should roll up and fit down inside this wad. Yep. Now, you see, I hope y'all can see it. See, it looks kind of funky, a little wonky in there. It looks oblong. That's what it does. But when we take this ball, these 53 cal ball, and drop it in there, see how it holds it in the middle? 1, 2, 3. See how the height is right? And it's dead center of that wad. That Mylar wrap is holding it in the middle. Now, when we drop our buffer in there, it's really going to hold it right there and keep these pellets from compressing. That's how we make basically a 20 gauge ball working a 12 gauge round. I think 53 cal is real common in a lot of muzzle loaders. We don't muzzle load around here in South Carolina. At least we don't, because we don't get it. There's no no special seasons, no special favors or anything like that for a muzzle loader, so we just don't do it. There's more equipment that you got to have and all that stuff. All right. Let me see. There it is. I got overshot cards laying everywhere. I've got segmented. I've got paper. They all work. They all work good. We've got some segmented. You can use bingo cards. I've got white paper. I've got red paper. It's all overshot cards, and it all works fine, fellas. A lot of times we just got to make whatever we got to make it work. All right, I just used the white paper in the 53 cal. 26 grains of long shot. This is the new Fiocchi primed, new Shadite primed works, and new Rio primed would work. New Federal primed would also work. Alrighty, let's get this one rolled up and we'll wrap it. And y'all seen this thing here's got a lot of potential. Works great. And I'm shooting these things out of a Kicks Buck Kicker standard full choke 695 constriction is what it is in my Stoker M3000. That's as easy as it is. And we've, like I said, I've got some 58 cal that we're going to, in the next, in part 3, we're going to look at some other variables and some other scenarios to see what are the possibilities we got, because not all of y'all have got everything. You got to make what you got work for you, and we should be able to figure it out to make it work for you. And if you don't have everything, then you can get over to Marty's, and there's a link right here down in the description. It'll get you 10% off your entire order at Marty's Arms. Alrighty, folks. I hope this helps you out. It is great to be back after it. And y'all continue to pray for us, continue to hold us up, to give us strength, and to give us knowledge on how we need to keep putting one foot in front of the other one. We love you guys a lot. Miss Joanne loves y'all a lot. And so did not want it to mess this thing up. Did not want this trial that we have gone through here to mess anything up in this ministry, and it has not. It is going to be bigger, better, and stronger. Alrighty, folks. We'll see y'all on the next one. Bye.